Is it
Right.
because she have no backing then and I feel like when I can't say them something there? Because I don't understand why.
Well, I want to turn the conversation back to why did Kerrica Hill go pro? Obviously, because she's phenomenal.
Hey Trackies, welcome back to yet another video here on TXT Track Time. Now Trackies, it looked like my transfer my sick to Tam because she's here also under the weather, also, struggling with her voice, but bear with us. Now, with that said, Trackies, please hit that like button. You know what? We're not feeling well. Do it for us. Hit that like button. Always do it for us. Hit the like button, get the video out there. That's how the YouTube algorithm works. Now, track fans, with that said, another exciting video as you've seen the title. Now, what I want to know, because Tom wasn't there, and I touched on Kerrica Hill going pro, but there are some things that happened after that I thought was questionable in my mind. So now that we have Tom here, of course we're going to be discussing it. And my question is, was Kerrica Hill shamed for going pro or choosing to go pro? What we found out later on was that her coach was not privy to the knowledge of her going pro. But what I found was that from the traditional media, I don't know if it became, oh my God, witch hunt is such a strong word, but I'm just going to say it anyway. It suddenly became a witch hunt of discussing when is the right time to go pro at Kerrica's expense. Now they would have thrown out things such as going pro based on economic circumstances. And there was one particular comment that really struck me and left me in awe, not in a good way, because I felt like punching my screen when a particular commenter said it's the wrong thing to go pro with the thought of assisting your family in the back of your mind. Like, that's the wrong reason to go pro. And I'm like, what? So, Tom, with what I just said, and with your knowledge of her going pro, do you think she was shamed in her choice, or what are your thoughts overall, on the situation of Kerrica going pro and everything that happened after?
Well, just to piggyback off the last thing you said, if it is for economic reasons, then going pro is the right thing to do, not the wrong thing. But then, in any event, I didn't hear a lot of the rumbling that was going on, and the little that I did hear, I would say more so surrounded the shock. Everyone is somewhat shocked that the coach was left out of the negotiations. He himself said, I believe around 24 hours before news broke that she went pro, that he wanted more time with her to develop her. So coming off the heels of that comment, and then hearing that she went pro, this is a decision that she made with her family, the coach, the Jamaican public and some of the traditional media houses, I guess, were more so perturbed by the fact that the coach was left out of the decision making. And of course, he was the one that would have been nurturing and developing her over these past few years, and just to be left out in the cold like that. Maybe that was the reason why persons were somewhat put off.
That's the vibe I got as well, because to me it didn't feel like it came from anywhere else. Because let's say, for instance, something came out just same 24 hours before, highlighting, hey, she has my blessing. If depending on whatever she wants to do, I'll be happy for her. I don't feel like we would be having this conversation at all, because we saw Tina and Tia go pro. We didn't hear anything. Multiple athletes have actually gone pro since then, and we haven't really heard anything or any discussion surrounding the circumstances of their choice. But with Kerrica Hill, I felt like it was all of a sudden it was like attack mode, and I was trying to figure out why. And then part of me also thought that sometimes the saying that we have dupping know who fi frighten, like some athletes we don't talk about or you won't say some things about, but then some people you feel like you can, kind of thing. And I also got that vibe, and I'm like, is it because quote unquote, because here we are talking about her economic circumstances that nobody talked, no, I never thought about that before, and all of a sudden no, that's thrusted in my face, making me think that okay, maybe there's a need for her to assist them. So
Yeah,
Is it
Right.
because she have no backing then and I feel like when I can't say them something there? Because I don't understand why.
Well, I want to turn the conversation back to why did Kerrica Hill go pro? Obviously, because she's phenomenal. Come on now. After that performance in Cali, Colombia, and even before that performance, that 12.77 running a world under 18 best. It's not a record, but the World Athletics still recognizes that time. Aside from that, Kerrica has been on fire for the past at least 3 years. And last year, I definitely sat up and took notice when she ran that blistering leg on the then world record breaking team. And to come back and do it again. Also, when Kerrica ran that 11.16 at Champs, I think even before she ran the 11.16, so she was just standing there in the blocks. I said to
That
you,
left
she looked
goosebumps,
already like a winner. She looks like
man.
an athlete. She looked professional. She went through, the different phases of her race excellently. And of course, I don't need to talk about the hurdles because we see that she's mastering that. So for me, her going pro was it was expected. It definitely was. And I just want to say we had young Brenna Williams going pro at 16. Why, if you're bubbling, if you're doing that good, if you realize that you're one step ahead, why set yourself back?
And also, let's not forget these companies are not giving contracts to people that are not great. Like you're only going to be considered if you're doing something absolutely phenomenal. That's the first thing. So people are making it look like, oh, any random hobo can just go turn pro. Like that's not how
Right.
it works.
And as I say in track all the time, there is a limited time frame in all athletics, in all sports,
You know,
and you
sport.
have to strike when the iron is hot.
Yeah,
No,
definitely.
I don't know how many persons will be lucky, like the likes of Merlin Otti and Shelley and Fraser Price, to have a career that extends well into their 40s.
Yeah.
But sports favors the youth. So if you're doing well when you're young, this is your job, this
It's
is
your
your
job.
career.
And we
Obviously the
all
end game is to make money,
Yeah, exactly. We
so
all
do
work
it
to make money. It
now.
doesn't matter what career path you choose. At
Yes.
the end of the day, it's all for money. And I'm like, if I was getting that money at 17, honey. But anyway, as I said,
And remember, even if whatever contract Kerrica Hill secured was at the lesser tier of contracts as things go, because she has
she's on a
created
developmental
a rep for
contract, so I'm not
herself.
really sure how much that would be, but yeah.
Contracts are meant to be renegotiated. And as I said before, or as I had said to you earlier, when those endorsements start kicking in, that is just like butter on top of the bread. So
All I'm praying for at the end of the day is that her corner, she has a strong support system because I said it back then when I heard the news of her going pro. And I'll say it here again. I just want to reiterate. I just pray that, they're putting everything in place to support her 100%. But outside of that, I mean, I don't think she's going to have any problems. I know these women, I've watched them, Jamaican women, I mean, they are strong, they're focused. As much as she's young, I see that focus in her. When you're hungry for something, hungry for better, and again, hungry for better for your family, there's nothing wrong with that, right? I just foresee her going from strength. I mean, okay, look at Shelly when Shelly talks about, what drove her in her career. You know what I mean? Thinking about where she was from with and her mother and all those stories. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Yes, Kerrica is getting an earlier shot. But yeah, for sure, go for it. And I just can't wait to see what this materializes into. But as I said, track is the time. I don't know if there's anything else you want to add, but I just wanted to see what you had to say based on the situation. Um, you know, did she get shamed, and are you happy about her choice in taking that step?
I'm totally excited about her taking that step to go pro, and I will be paying close attention to her development, and I can't wait to see what she would bring next time she hits the track.
I can't wait as well. All right, so Shakis, there you have it. Sound off in the comment section and let us know. Am I overthinking it by thinking, hey, she was shamed by bringing her family circumstances into it, or shedding light to that in the public and making it look like it was a bad thing to choose to go pro because of that? Sound off as usual. I don't mind being wrong. If I'm wrong, let me know. Again, don't forget to hit the like button. And of course, subscribe to the channel if you get to do so. I'm T.
And I'm Tam. We'll catch you in another one.